And when you break it further down, it is only just a waves of energy and information, right? So all atoms are waves of energy information. So whether you see a pyramid, you see a table, whether you see me, you see a tree, whatever, everything is just energy and information in its most fundamental form. And all these waves are constantly interacting with each other. So the whole universe, the whole cosmos, that's why it's connected with each other through these waves. And when all the planets, the universes, and when all are waves of energy information, and when we combine all these waves of energy information, that is the quantum field. The field, so that is the quantum field. And when you say, so that's a quant is, when you say quantum, quant is the tiniest particle of matter. Right? So, yeah, Keshav, can you show the slide? So let's see what Nikola Tesla said. Nikola Tesla, who invented electricity, he said, if you wish to find the secrets of the universe, think of it in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Again, I'll repeat. If you wish to find the secrets of the universe, think of it in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. He says everything is made up of energy, and that energy is vibrating at certain frequency, right? So everything is made up of energy, and that energy is vibrating at certain frequency. So, sorry. Go back. Sorry. Go back. Yeah. No. Yeah. So I want to show you. So here, from the quantum physics experiments, we are going to see everything from the point of view of energy, everything from the lens of the energy. And Keshav, yeah, okay. So we are going to start by an experiment, which is called water experiment. And this is by us. Keshav, can you show the slide? Yeah. So by a very famous Japanese scientist, Dr. Masaru Emoto. He did some research on water particles, and his experiment really was an eye-opener for the whole world. So what he did is he collected water samples from different places, and he froze that water and saw it in the microscope in a laboratory. And what was amazing is different water had a different structure. And when he exposed this water to different words, like he exposed the water to a word like thank you, wisdom, truth, eternal. So when he exposed the water to these positive words, they showed they formed a beautiful crystal structure. You can see that. And same way, angel, I love you, peace. And the same water, when he exposed to some negative words like you fool, you can see how distorted this picture is, how distorted the structure is. When he said, you made me sick, this was the image, evil. And again, what he did was, he got the sample of polluted water, and this was the image. He offered prayer to the same polluted water, and the water turned into a beautiful crystal structure. So let us see the video, and then I'll talk more about it. Yeah. Keshav, can you play the video? Yeah. Yes, water experiments. Here. Keshav, can you play the video, water experiments? Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Dr. Imato's laboratory does research on water samples which are subjected to various forms of outside influence. The impressions made upon the water are recorded by swiftly freezing it in a cryogenic chamber. This is what water heated in a microwave oven looks like. This is the effect of a mobile telephone. Somebody said, "Thank you" to this water. Excuse me. You disgust me. Let us see how this type of water affects human blood. The doctor is drawing blood from a patient's finger. Using a special microscope, we shall be able to see the condition of her body from this drop.
These are red blood cells, and they've lost their electrical charge, so they're all stuck together in a formation called a rouleau. Here's a huge symplast. Symplasts are associated with heart disease and arthritis and lung disease and many other conditions that could be coming in the future.
The doctor asks the patient to drink a small amount of structurized water. After 12 minutes, the doctor again draws blood from the patient and studies it.
So you can see that the cells then become buoyant, they become slippery, and they have their electrical charge, so they repel each other. That allows them to carry oxygen, and it means that we're changing the pH of the blood back to an aerobic environment rather than an anaerobic environment. I think that's utterly amazing. That just drinking water could do that.
In 1995, Dr. Emoto Masaru was the first one to record musical impressions on water. In Dr. Emoto Masaru's laboratory, they allowed water to listen to music, after which they flash froze the water, and then, under the microscope, they could clearly see the crystals that the water had formed. Here is what the music of Bach looks like. Mozart. Beethoven. Heavy rock. Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black, and the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm.
So this quite interesting, right? And this finding is very interesting because 72% of our world is water. 72% of our body, more than 72% of our body is water. And so that clearly shows that how our thoughts, our emotions, the words, the music, everything has an impact on our body. Everything has an impact on the world around us. And even on the food, he did a research on rice and how food fermented when he said positive words, gave a nice aroma when he said positive words. When he said negative, it became black, and when he ignored it, it rot. So this is how. That's why food also carries energy and information, right? So everything carries energy and information, and all energy carries information and frequency. So this shows that, and also he found that the water stores memory. In fact, nowadays a lot of research is being done on water. They say one drop of water, water can store millions of terabytes of information. So and they are trying to develop, if instead of chip, can they use water to store memory and decode that memory? So scientists are working on that. So that means a subjective mind has an impact on the objective world. When you pay attention to something, you affect that reality. So a lot of time, that's why we say focus on what we want and what we do not want. Change your attention to wellness and not to illness, because as is your thoughts, as is your emotions, as are your words, has an influence on the world around you, right? So, and your expectancy determines your outcome. Whatever you expect, that accordingly will be the outcome. It is the observer with effects, who is affecting what is being observed. And when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. That's what Vindar said. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. So again, this is a proof that yad bhavam tad bhavti, yatha drishti tatha srishti. I'll show a next experiment. Keshav, can you share the slide? So this is an experiment which was done by a very famous scientist called René Poche. He is in a metaphysical institute. He has a metaphysical institute in France, Paris, and there he did an experiment with some newborn chick babies, newborn chicks. And what he did was he has this random movement device, which when he puts on this on a plain board, on a plain floor, they put a made up board, and when you put this random movement device, it moves randomly in all directions, right? Because that is what devices no intelligence, so anywhere it will move randomly. Now what did he do was he took a newborn chick. He took a newborn chick, and the very first day it was born, he put this chick with this random movement device. And what he did was he started feeding the chicks. He started feeding that chick from this device. And when the chick was eating from that device, the chick really got attached, right? The chick felt that it is this device which is my mother. It is this object which is my mother. Chick didn't feel that it is some random object or some inanimate object. Chick really felt that she is my mother and she is the one who is nourishing me, taking care of me. So chick became very emotionally attached with that device. Now what they did was he put the chick in the cage, and when he put the chick in the cage, the chick wanted and then again the slide, Keshav. And the chick wanted to go back to the mother from the board, right? He switched on the random movement device, and the chick wanted to go back to the mother. And in that case, and during that time, the device, all the time, the device moved more towards the chick. It didn't move in this direction at all. It moved all the time. He kept the device here, and it didn't move this side. Most 99% time it all moved here. And he did this experiment time and again, and that was a big thing. So let me share the slide. Let me share a video. Okay, sure. Yeah. So can you see the random movement device? Yeah. Initially, he put it's moving randomly all everywhere. You can see that. And now he picked up that chick and he placed him with the device and started feeding from that device. You can see that. And now he put the device in the cage. He put that chick in the cage, and the chick is now shouting. The chick really wants to go back to her mother. So you can see most of the time the device is moving close to the chick. Isn't this interesting? And so the chick, the power of the intention of the chick can influence the movement of an inanimate object. Imagine how powerful we as human beings are. In fact, our frontal lobe, the chick's frontal lobe, which is the where we have the thoughts and the intentions. The chick's frontal lobe is 1% of its brain. And humans is 40% of our brain size. One is our brain size is far bigger than a chick brain size. And of that, our humans' frontal lobe is 40%, highest in all the living beings. So how powerful is our thought? How powerful is our intention? And next to us is dolphins, which is a frontal lobe, which is 27% of the brain size. So now, I'm going to show you, Keshav, next slide. Yeah, go back. Yeah. So I'm going to show you another video. This is a very interesting video where Greg Braden will be speaking on this video, and where he found that in China there's a healing school where there's a healing hospital which do alternative ways of healing, and there's a group of healers. They were healing a lady with a bladder cancer, and how within 3 minutes they could completely heal the cancer with the power of their intention, thoughts, and feelings. So let me show this video. Very interesting video. Yeah.
So any discussion regarding this feeling-based prayer, this lost mode of prayer, sometimes seems a little more than academic until we can actually apply it in our lives or see it applied in our lives. It's in the late 1990s that I had the opportunity to do precisely that, when I saw the footage documenting the healing of a life-threatening condition within the body of a living woman using precisely the kinds of techniques that we're speaking about right now. For me, it was this kind of information that took this lost modality of prayer out of the realm of academics and into something that's very real that we can apply in our lives. I had the opportunity during that time to see some video footage of the healing of a 3-inch diameter bladder cancer inside the body of a woman who, by Western medical standards, had been diagnosed inoperable. She had gone, as a last resort, to a medicineless hospital in Beijing, China. It was in this medicineless hospital where they began simply by addressing the life-affirming ways that she could change how she was living her life. They taught her life-affirming ways to breathe and life-affirming ways to nourish her body, gentle movements to stimulate the energy centers in her body. And as she was doing these and strengthening her body, at one point it made sense to undergo a process. Now I'd like to share this. I'd like to describe it to you as a very potent example of how the feeling world inside of our bodies has a direct effect, in this case a very graphic effect, on the world beyond our bodies. So in the video documentation, the film shows a woman lying on in a hospital room. She's fully awake, she's fully conscious, she believes in the process that's about to happen. Before her, there is an ultrasound technician who is running an ultrasound wand over her lower abdomen that we can see on a split-screen television. And on the left-hand side of the screen, they do a snapshot, a freeze frame of an instant in time for reference, so we can see what her condition looked like in that instant in time. On the right-hand side of the screen, we are able to watch real time as 3 practitioners stand behind her, working with the energy in her body and with the feelings in their body.